Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have a very exciting match to get into. Stefanos Tsitsipas versus Holger Rune in the round of 16 matchup at Indian Wells. And it's a pretty one-sided head-to-head, currently anyway. Holger Rune leads the head-to-head 3-0 versus the Greek star. We're going to get into the matchup and I'll give you guys my predictions shortly. Before we do though, remember to that like button, do subscribe if you're new, and do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Also, shout out to our members and do click that notification bell if you have not done so already, so you get alerted to any new uploads. Okay, so 3-0 to Holger Rune. However, two were indoor hard courts. One was actually retirement from Steph at the 2023 Nitto ATP finals after they played 3 games. And one was at Roland Garros. On the clay, 2022 even, and Holger Rune managed to beat Steph in a very, I'll say, disappointing match from Tsitsipas' point of view. Look, I mean, this is a really intriguing matchup because if this was a few months back, even though Rune has not been playing super well, I would have gone for Rune. However, I'm now umming and ahhing a bit because there's a few things to factor in here. Steph has been playing really, really well. It's as simple as that. He won a tournament recently, of course, at ATP 500. He's got a new racket in hand, which seems to have really boosted the confidence, and it seems to have given him more stability and more of an attacking presence, or at least it's complementing his more attacking style. It's given him more stability on the backhand. He's taking very confident swings of the ball. There's less shanks. He just seems happier on court, and he's getting through the court more, which is exactly the type of tennis that he's all about. It's a pure Aero 98. I think we can probably all safely say is that, given what we've seen. I mean, we can't say 100%, but I would say I'm 92% sure that it's a Babolat pure Aero 98. So, the same as what Rune uses, same as what Alcaraz uses, Felix Auger-Aliassime. Now, when I say they use it, I'm saying they endorse it because a lot of these players will use older rackets, the pro stock rackets, so rackets from years ago, and then they just get it painted in the current paint jobs, right, of the new rackets. But actually, from what I know, Carlos does actually use a stock Babolat Pure Aero 98 with only, I think it's like 5 grams of lead tape in the throat, which is a very random place to have it. But that was only this year that he added that. Steph is using Babolat Pure Aero VS, and I'm not sure how he's customized it. But anyway, this is sort of random racket talk that we can table and potentially talk about another time. If you want to hear about that, there's another video with Tennis Nerd that I've uploaded on this channel. Check that out if you want to get more information on Steph's new racket setup and also his old racket setup as well, and what Jonas thought would be a good setup for Steph going forward. In terms of the matchup, so look, normally Rune would just think, you know what, I'm going to destroy Steph in the ad court exchanges because I'm going to go backhand to backhand with him. I'm going to find good angles on my backhand, go into on my forehand, make him pay in that corner, and then open up the court and kill him there. What has happened in the last couple of weeks is that Steph, in the past, would have been very much positioned so far out to the ad side to try and protect his backhand that he'd leave the forehand corner wide open. And when he was playing his best tennis, he was actually defending that forehand corner extremely well. Good forehand slice or good kind of loopy topspin forehands cross court down the line deep to get him back into the port, back to neutral, and ensure that he wasn't on the back foot. But in recent times, because the backhand has really been struggling, he's been struggling generally, he has moved further and further across to that ad corner. And what that's meant is that there are more opportunities to go into the open court to hurt Steph and ensure that actually he's not able to get across and defend that corner as well as he was prior. what's great for him is that because the backhand is now popping again, it's now, I mean, it's looking very solid, I have to say, which is a great thing for him, and I think for the tour and for tennis fans. What it means is that actually he doesn't have to shift so far across. He has more confidence in the backhand. So there were some balls, for example, in the last year where he would come into the ad corner and you think he has to hit a backhand, and he would run around it and he'd hit a very awkward forehand, almost not getting around it enough. So his racket wasn't almost like open face. It would be almost hitting below the ball, like down it. It was very, very awkward forehands from him because he was really trying his best to avoid hitting a backhand when he could. It's less so now the case, so it means that he'll be able to defend the forehand corner better. He'll be able to defend the backhand corner better, I think, because the backhand's holding up nicely. The slice, by the way, is also looking better. The slice was so poor, I thought, in the past. In the past, I've been a real... I've definitely not been a fan. I've criticised the backhand slice a lot. I think it was floated and just had no real purchase off the court. Now it looks a lot better. Whether it's the racket, the placebo, I don't know, but he's hitting with a lot more spin, a lot quicker through the air. It just seems a lot more potent. And that's a real positive for him. The serve, of course, is starting to pop more, and the +1 play is there. And on return, I think he's short on the backhand. It's still a work in progress to returning, but look, that's there. We know he's got great hands. For Rune, of course, he's a great all-round player as well. Very solid backhand, really solid two-handed backhand. The forehand can be explosive. It can look a bit clunky at times, and he can drop it short at times, but I think that's been a work in progress for him. And then the touch and feel of the net is phenomenal from Rune. I love seeing him come forward. Both these players like to come forward, so that's great. I mean, this match is going to be a real spectacle. On the serve is not as big as Steph's and arguably not as potent, but I think he serve volleys really well. Has some good variation on serve, and the second serve, he's pretty brave on that as well, which is great to see. On return, his returning should be better. And I think both these players... Rune, I think naturally is a much better return than Steph, even. But I would say he's really done himself a disservice when it's come to his return stats, because I don't think he should be returning as badly as he is, in my opinion. Whereas with Steph, I can see why. But that's something that he's been improving on. And I think for Rune, the Steph second serve is something that is attackable, so he should be trying to get on the front foot there. Steph will be trying to do the same on Rune's second serve, no doubt. So it could almost be a battle of the second serves. Who has the most success behind those second serve points, who ends up winning the match. Sometimes that's the case when you have two players who are relatively equal first serve. And, Steph, he was at one time, I'd say, top 5 server on tour. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think given the stats and tennis insights I've seen, he's around top 10. Rune is not even that. I think he's like top 15 in terms of serves, if that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a few factors that are going to decide this match. The ad court exchange, my thoughts are that Steph is going to handle himself better in that exchange. The serve return dynamic, which is always a big factor in any match, but I have a feeling that actually Rune will fancy himself, especially on the return games, and I even think even on the serve games. I think he has the confidence that in those two facets, which are very big facets, he's able to really get big inroads into the Steph game. And who potentially volleys better? That'll be interesting to see. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how both these players come out and play. Rune's managed to hit a bit of form again after beating Umberg. Really good win, 3 sets, and the level seems to be getting better. Tsitsipas is one of the most informed players right now, so it just sets up a very, very interesting match. And prediction-wise, I'm going to go with Steph. I think he'll get his first win over Rune. I think he'll win in 3 sets. I think it'll be a very exciting match to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But I just have a feeling that Steph, this is a resurgent Steph. and I think he'll get the job done. Let me know in the comment section below who you think's going to win and why. Thanks very much, guys. Stay safe and well. We'll see you in the next video.